if you are so committed and, in your own words, obsessed, right, with living the life and work and that lights you up, that fuels you, that feels aligned for you. I mean, somewhere along the line that had to come into the picture. Like, did little Gabby always have this vision for herself? Or can you tell me a little bit about your story that brought you to being this kind of, I see, like, epic, grounded, super cool creatrix?
Thank you. I never really know how to, I guess, tell my story. And I think it's because usually in these kind of stories, you're looking for like, it was this one moment, and that's when I knew. I feel like I had so many moments for so long and got, you know, loved making stuff, just always loved making stuff. And I think most people really love making stuff. So I definitely always had that. But I also think I have that gene or trait or whatever where I just don't like working for other people, and I don't like having to be at a certain place at a certain time. And, you know, growing up when I did and seeing like the real emergence of the internet and people building personal brands and turning like the actual things that they just do, like how they make things, how they live their life, and then making that into their job. Like the fact that that then became a real thing, almost like out of nowhere. You know, 20 years ago, that wasn't a possibility. So me really like growing up alongside the internet and seeing that as an option, it just slowly, like, I feel like my bravery built, my ability to believe that I could do that as well, Bill. And yeah, it just took me getting bored enough of trying to have jobs that was like, this one's a little better, but I still hate it. And this doesn't fit me. And I just want to make my art. Took me going through that enough times to really like be like, let's make a decision. I need to make this work. I need to have my time and my days to myself. And I want to be able to really dedicate as much as my life as possible to creating the things that I imagine, and through creating those things, like become the person that I imagine myself to be. Yeah, it's definitely been like a journey. It hasn't been, there wasn't a little one moment, but it's been good.
I love it. And I think that there's just so much gold in this, because the simplicity of it is, there's these moments of, this feels right for me, this doesn't feel right for me, this feels right for me, this doesn't feel right for me. And maybe there's many people who are like, this doesn't feel right for me, but I'm too scared to go down the path, you know, towards like creating my own thing. And I guess what I heard in that is like, but I decided to watch those people and see what they were doing and see that it was possible. Like, surround myself by what I would call like expanders, or people who were like, show you that it's actually possible. And then you're like, well, I might as well give it a crack myself. And there is that bravery bit. You said you get like braver and braver as you go along. And I think there's this, you got to make a decision. In fact, I think about it like I have to make this decision every single day. You know,
totally. It's not something that's like, okay, I've made this decision, let's like, that's life set. It's exactly what you were saying earlier, like about how it is like, it's so cliche, but it is just this continual journey and figuring out of things. And I think especially when we're talking about creativity in the terms of making that into a business, there's never going to be a day when you're like, cool, I've got everything figured out. That's the business set, because you're changing. The world is constantly changing. You're going to be in this continual process of figuring out who you are, what you want to create, how you can create it, how you can share it. And I think the sooner we kind of relieve ourselves of the pressure of being like, when I figure it out, then I'll make a decision, or then I'll make a big movement. And it's just going to happen over and over again. Those moments of, all right, I'm sick of my bullshit. I'm sick of being frustrated. I'm sick of being bored. And that is what forces you to continually make changes and make adjustments. And that's just life, baby. That's just how it goes.
I think it's so, you said it so perfectly. I'm sick of my bullshit. And I think I'll share with you, I'm in the second iteration, getting into third iteration of writing a book, Let Your Vision Be Bigger Than Your Bullshit. And I think that I certainly have plenty of bullshit. I think everybody does it. We've got like our own personalized bag of bullshit that gets in the way of going after what we want, or to, you so beautifully said, believing that what we want is possible and available for us. And I think that's not only do we need to make a decision and be open to figuring it out along the way, that belief part is so huge, but we'll never get to being in that practice of being brave and seeing what might be possible and believing what's possible if we don't first have a moment or moments on repeat of like, I'm kind of done with this bullshit, and it's up to me, like no one's going to change it for me. So it's that one of the cards in my deck is like, are you sick of your own bullshit? Yeah.